Good morning, everyone. It is Monday, January 6th, 2020. I finished up Leia, Princess of Alderaan last night, so today I will be starting on, I put it so far away from me, Red Rising by Pierce Brown. Yeah, Pierce Brown. So I'm really excited. I've heard nothing but good things. A lot of people in my real life have raved about this book to me, so obviously that makes me very pumped to read it. And then I also just downloaded last night on Audible Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. So on my way home from work, I'm gonna start listening to that. I should have listened to it on my way here, but you know when you're just in the mood for music? I really love the song Toss a Coin to Your Witcher from the show Witcher. It's so catchy. I am having such a great morning. For the month of January, my work life gets a little weird because we're only open 3 days a week and I am the only person that's supposed to be working. It's just me, and although I can come in on like Tuesday and Thursday for cleaning, I'm not working a ton during the month of January, and when I am here, I'm by myself. So my productivity, I would imagine, is going to go through the roof, which makes me really excited. But also because of 2020, I'm trying to incorporate some new morning habits. Well, this actually has to do with the night before. I have a daily planner, and I usually write in all the stuff that I want to do that day in the morning. But after watching some productivity and goal-based videos, I decided to write down everything that I wanted to do today last night. So it's like I already have the list of things that I need to do. It's not something that I have to worry about. And like today, work on vlogging, work on editing a video, work on finishing rewriting my chapter 1. But it's like all of that is already set up for me. And so it was weird how much that kind of like got me going in the morning, because it's like I already know what I need to do. That's not even something I have to think about. I also took some time to do some more yoga and fitness in the morning. And by yoga, I mean just stretching my upper back, because I have slight scoliosis and my shoulders and neck carry a lot of tension because of working on my laptop or sitting and reading and all of that, and just a general like looking down. And then I want to go to the butcher today and pick up some beef tallow as well as some more like high quality grass-fed meat. On top of all of that, tonight one of my girlfriends is hosting a like girly get together to watch the premiere of The Bachelor. I've never seen this show before, but it's like I am always down to hang out with my friends and gossip and drink a little wine, especially since I don't officially work tomorrow. So overall, I just feel that it's going to be a very good, very productive, very fun day. But now that I've arrived at work and after I'm done filming this little intro, I'm gonna get to replying to any emails, YouTube comments, things like that. And then I'm going to import my weekly reading vlog footage from last week and start throwing that, putting that together. And then I can work on some rewrites for my first chapter. And then depending on how many kids I get today, how much of my actual job I have to do, I might be able to start reading at least a chapter or two of Red Rising before heading out of here for the day. So that's my plan. Oh my goodness, also, it is my puppy, my new one, Saphira. It is her birthday today. She is officially 6 years old, so she's like middle-aged. But that's another thing. I need to pick up something, see if I can get maybe a bone or something from the butcher to give to her. Although those dogs have been so spoiled. They literally had an entire rotisserie chicken to themselves the other day. Literally, if they just do anything, I always give them meat. Because they're so cute. My friend is also going to be stopping by here to pick up a book, which I would show you, but I'm using it to prop up this camera right now. But it is Gillian Flynn's Dark Places. My friend is going on a trip, and so she wanted an airport read. And she's not a huge reader, although 2020, she wants to get into reading fiction more. And I got her to read Gillian Flynn's super short story, The Grown Up, which she really liked. So I'm like, okay, I own Dark Places, so you can try it. I found it to be extremely addictive, but it is one of the darkest, most messed up books I've ever read. So you've been warned. That's my day and I have to get started. So let's go, guys. Oh my goodness, this totally reminded me that I also played D&D this weekend and it was super fun. I've dabbled in several D&D campaigns before, but this one is with my really close friends. Definitely the most fun I've ever had with D&D. Plus, I haven't used D&D Beyond before, and that has made everything about like keeping track of the sheets and all the number stuff so much easier. But I am playing a UNT, which is basically like a serpent humanoid hybrid creature who is a bard. And so we're not playing this upcoming weekend, but the weekend after that. Because I have so much time, I want to actually look up, like on Reddit or something, some bard tunes to whip out, because next session our GM said that it's going to be dealing with some more downtime, having some more fun. So I'm excited to play around with that a little bit. I'm having such a blast.
Happy birthday, 6-year-old. Happy birthday to you.
Okay, I'm currently back to filming off of my phone because this camera, which I used to film the entirety of last week's vlog, is giving me the most difficult time uploading, which I've never had problems with before. Getting that video onto my computer took over an hour just to get the video on there. So I'm having one of my more techie friends look at it because he said it might be like a weird Mac thing that needs to be adjusted for or whatever. There's my tea. Okay, sorry, I had to get some tea and change and get ready because my friend's gonna pick me up and she's gonna be here soon. Anyway, with those technical difficulties, I expected to be done editing at least one video today, and now I have 0. But that's okay because I got a heck of a lot farther in my chapter 1, not quite done with it, but super close. And then obviously I want to reread it, and then I want to send it off to my friend and get her feedback on it. And then I think right now I'm just gonna read some Red Rising. I read the first chapter at work and I was into it right away. Same with Mistborn. I listened to Mistborn on the way home. I'm over an hour into it and I also really like it. So at least my reading life is going well.
Oh fuck, she's mad.
To not get that rose.
Same.
It just made me question all that.
Fucking same. Cheers.
Hey guys, sorry that I didn't shoot anything yesterday. I just wasn't in the mood to look presentable and I wasn't doing a whole bunch. I've completely thrown off my sleep cycle, so I slept in kind of late and I mostly just cleaned the house and read some more of Red Rising. Posted a video of last week's vlog after finally figuring out how to get the footage onto my computer, which hopefully all the settings in that are figured out and I won't have any more issues because that was so wild. I hate when I have a tech problem because I don't have enough of an understanding when it comes to tech to know how to fix it on my own. So it's just takes so much time out of my day. Go back a little and explain what happened. Monday night, I watched the season premiere of The Bachelor, and I've never watched any Bachelor or Bachelorette before. And I watched it with my girlfriends while we drank some wine and ate some fancy cheese. And it was such a delight. I was afraid because 3 hours is a long time for anything. It's fun. It actually kind of reminds me of Game of Thrones in the sense that so many people watch it and are into it that you can kind of talk about it with anybody. I ended up talking on the phone with one of my friends yesterday because of someone he was dating. He knew about The Bachelor and we were able to talk about it. And it's just one of those strange things that you can kind of pick up with a lot of people, and there's like memes, and it's kind of a fun thing thing to tap into culturally, I guess. So that might become a bit of a weekly thing too, which would be fun because I just like hanging out with the gal pals. And it was Saphira's birthday on Monday, so came home and made the doggies some raw meat, specifically some beef cheeks, which obviously they loved, and then took them on a nice long walk, so that was delightful. Yukon's birthday, by the way, is March 28th, and by birthday I mean his adoption day, which is when he was birthed into my life. I don't know his real birthday, because Saphira is an ex-breeding dog. That's how I know her actual birthday. So yesterday was more video editing and reading focus, and today, well, actually I want to read some more right now. I'm really into Red Rising. I'm about 4 chapters in, but I really like it. And then I want to edit another video, my Witcher review video, which will be up before this. Then hopefully finish out rewriting my chapter 1. That's my goal for today. But like I've said, my sleep cycle has been so wacky, and I know that's because I'm not working regularly, so I don't have to get up at the same time every day. And as nice as it is to sleep in and like stay up really late on a Monday night, I literally slept maybe 5 hours, probably closer to 4 last night, and I feel completely fine. But this happened on Monday too, where I could barely sleep, and I usually don't have any sleeping issues. And I know it's like the most important thing to getting your sleep regulated is just to wake up on time every day, or at the same time every day. So I mean, tomorrow, even though I don't have to work, I need to get up around 6 a.m. like I usually would before work. I think today I'm also going to do some house cleansing, and I've been wanting to show you guys, I've been really into runes lately, so I'll talk about that more when I get home. I have a really cool rune set that I've been meaning to show you. It's on little quartz stones. That's the agenda for the day. I've been busier at work than I suspected I would be. The country club that I work at, except for the fitness center, is literally closed down for January. That's why our hours are so severely cut. But because our days are so limited, it's like the days that I do work have been way busier than usual. I don't like starting a project and getting interrupted. So I'm just gonna read instead until our center closes, so then I can just work on other stuff. So that's what I'm gonna do. Let's get to reading.
Prince Street, August 14th, a Soho bar, a speakeasy. It's you and me, and I'm feeling free.
Okay, this police officer comes into our parking lot and hangs out by my car every single day. He comes in around 9, and then he comes in again around 3 p.m. And I hate it. Leave. So I've been reading for the last hour or so and just started on part 2. And Red Rising is such a wild book. Very sad though. I don't feel like this is a spoiler because it literally told me this would happen in the back cover, but his wife dies, and it's so sad. And they play her up to be this like amazing person that everyone loves and is so beautiful. She dies a martyr, basically. I'm very interested to see where this tale goes, because it reminds me a lot of The Hunger Games, both in tone and the way it's written. It's first person present tense, and it has a very similar dystopian feel. The golds, the godlike people who just look, and who everything about them is so different from the reds, who live on Mars underground and never get to see the light of day, never get to experience any choice, any freedom, that die very young, and that are mining tunnels, and that's just what they do. They're basically enslaved. I mean, it's called Red Rising. I'm getting the sense that much like Katniss, he's somehow going to leave Mars, or at least leave the tunnels, and embark on some journey to avenge his wife, take down the society and the gold. I don't know how that's gonna happen. That's where I'm like, whoa, I don't know, man. I love how easy of a read this is too. I don't wanna stop. I just wanna keep going. My goal is to hit page 100 by the end of the day. I feel like that good stopping point. Right now I'm at page 54, so a little less than 50 more pages, and I will be satisfied. Well, if I read 100 pages every day, then I'll be done by the weekend, which would be ideal. Okay, so it's a little bit past 3 p.m., so I'm definitely itching to get out of here, especially because it's so sunny outside. I am on page like 70 of Red Rising. I love it so much. It's so good. Without giving away anything to the people who haven't, I've reached the big reveal, and it was very shocking. And then I went through my first edit of my Witcher video, which I think I'll be able to put up tomorrow, then completed rewriting out my first chapter, and then once that's figured out, I'm just gonna send it off to my friend, which if you watched my last week's vlog, then you'll know that she gave an extremely brutal but very, very, very useful query critique. So I definitely want her to look at my revised first chapter. So overall, great day. Gotta walk the puppies while the sun is still out, so I gotta get going. So sunny. I just realized that I never really updated you guys after I got home today. I had this absolutely, or at least part of this incredible chuck roast steak that I bought the other day. It was a 2-for-1 deal, and they last me at least 2 days because they're humongous. And these dogs were basically in my lap trying to get to the steak, and so I threw them outside so I could eat in peace because I haven't eaten yet, and it was like 6 p.m. and Yukon was just losing his mind. I wish I got it on camera because you would think that he was so neglected or being abused or something, and it's like, no, I'm just not actively feeding him steak and he's sad, which I get. I would be sad too, but like, they have been so spoiled with food lately. Oh my god, spoiled brats. But I have just been chilling. I watched an episode of Shark Tank while working on my Witcher thumbnail, and I think I'm about to read some more of Red Rising. Like I said, I'm really into it. It's good. I get the hype. Sucks you in right away. Very easy to consume. Such a good bare bone story where you just want to know what happens next. It's very high concept. The ideas are very interesting. I am going to show you guys some of my nightly routines later on, especially my planning for the next day, and then looking at my ruins. I'll get to that in probably an hour or two.
It's crazy how everyone lives up like Top Gun. It's you and it's a cloudy night to smoke one. All things happen when
So
you
as promised, I wanted to show you guys how I use my ruins. The whole reason that people get packs or bags is for divination. So as a way of kind of fortune telling, kind of like tarot cards. That's basically what they're used as. But the reason I gravitate towards ruins over something like tarot, one, there's a very strong historical aspect. Ruins are one of the oldest alphabets ever recorded, and they were used by druids in Nordic cultures in times of worry or looking for clarification from their gods or the universe or just a force larger than themselves. Not necessarily tell their future, because it wasn't believed that the future was set in stone and that you still had the ability to change, but rather clarification for a problem. And so that's more how I like using them. I'll either just grab for one stone, and that's more of a like, what should I keep in mind for the day ahead? Maybe I'll ask something more specific, but generally I like to keep it broad. Or I like to do a 3-stone pull. The first stone representing the problem at hand, the second stone representing the biggest obstacle relating to that problem, and the third one representing the outcome if I continue along the path that I'm on. And again, I'm not necessarily looking for like a fortune telling, like, ooh, what is my future, as much as just a different sort of way for me to maybe clarify a problem that I'm having, a different way of looking at a situation, just for fun or for comfort. And whether that's because there's something mystical about the stones or it's just psychological trick that my mind is playing using these ruins, doesn't really matter to me. I found it to be at best extremely helpful or just plain fun. So I'm gonna do a spread for you guys right now. I usually hold my bag and then wiggle it around to shake up all the stones. While I'm wiggling it around, I'm also thinking of my question or my problem at hand, and then that's when I draw my stones. Traditionally, ruins are done on flat pieces of wood. And the more I read up on it, the more it seems that the druids would actually throw out the entire bag. They would have like a mat, and depending on where it falls in, you know, certain shapes or circles or where they're all connecting to each other will give them more specific answers. But I don't have any of that knowledge or space or devotion, so I just like to do a quick little spread, and then I like to either go to this little ruin booklet where I can just find the specific stone and it will tell me its name, how to pronounce it, the letter it represents, and then like its associations. And then I usually go to the internet for some second sources just to make sure that everything is matching up and to see if there's anything more I can clarify. Now, the more you get into the ruins, the more you also find that if you pull a ruin and it is its inverse, so it is upside down or facing the opposite direction that it's supposed to face, it can mean the inverse of what it's supposed to mean. I don't take that too seriously, partially because of just the way these stones are shaped. These are tumbled rose quartz stones, which I love, but because they're not flat, it's just difficult to be like, oh, is it facing the wrong way or did it just spin on its side when I set it down? So I either do the 3 spread or I will just pull out a single one. Sometimes I'm a little baffled by what I pull, but there's definitely been times where it's genuinely helped me out, which is why I continue to use them. Okay, before I end the night, I thought I would show you guys how I plan for the next day. Obviously, I am not always great at it. So I like to write more of my work-related stuff over in this to-do tab because I like being able to just very visually mark it off. If I exit out, that means I completed it. If I just did one line, that means it's partially done. So like I can actually do a second line. Boop. Because that's basically done for the day. And then if there's a circle around it, I didn't get around to doing it. And then this side is more like personal. If we go up to Thursday, so something I'm keeping in mind for this week, next weekend is when I'm playing my next D&D session, so I need to be ready to level up, and I want to look at some bard songs. So I don't know if I'll do that tomorrow, but I keep this in this general area just to keep it in mind. This has to do with work stuff. So for the to-do, so this is how I keep track of like the unpaid work that I do, like my writing and video editing and stuff. I don't have a lot of social engagements this week, but like next week I have a volunteer event and then my D&D. So I think this is where I'm gonna call it a night, but obviously I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow, and even though I have the day off, as you guys saw, I still have a very busy day ahead of me.
When you're with me, oh, how you feel me. Oh, things happen when you call me pretty.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Claire, and today we are going to look at my accidental book haul. So I just finished eating the rest of my chuck roast from yesterday with some grass-fed butter. So good. I also got my Witcher video completely edited and uploaded, filmed my latest book haul video, and posted an Instagram photo. So I wanted to show you guys how I take my Instagram photos. So a real game changer to me is this little device. I did not order. It came with the new selfie ring light that I got. I'm sure you can find it for like $2 on Amazon or something. And it just Bluetooth to your phone. I just have the iPhone 6s. Already have it on the square, so I don't have to adjust the size when I go to edit the photos. Oh my gosh. And then I just set it up usually around this area using my plants as a backing and then some form of tea or one of the cups or something as this makeshift stand. And then I just use this little guy. I'll even turn it on. Hooks up right away and just boop. Took a photo. I used to use the timer, but this is obviously 1,000 times easier. My favorite app that I use for editing is one called Color Story, and can just go in here. I'll use this one that we just took together. I'm sure I look great, fantastic. But I like it because of all the different filters and just the way the app is set up in general, little effects. I don't really use the effects except for the texture, just to make it look a little bit more worn, or the adjust, and you can go into something color specific. See, I can make the things on my shirt look more green or more blue. I also like to go in here to sharpen up the image, make it more vibrant. I usually don't get too extreme with anything because, except for maybe the texture to the photo, I generally like the look of just natural lighting. But that's roughly what I do before I post to Instagram. But thank God I got all those things done early in the day, because earlier it was super bright and sunny and golden out. It was actually possibly too bright when I filmed, but now it's much more gray and sullen. I'm just glad that I got up and got all those things done already, and I am going to head into work for a little bit to do some deep cleaning and get them hours in. But first I need to walk the spoiled puppies. And oh, let me show you the fun corsets that I got today. So these are the corsets that I got from the brand Corset Story. They had a 3 corsets for like a little over $100 sale, and they were from these like preset style and sizes, so I just kind of had to work with what they offered me. But this pink one and the one that I'm wearing are more like fancy shirts. I mean, they still cinch in a little bit, but they're not for waist training. This one is a waist trainer. I haven't tried that on yet, so we'll see exactly what that means. I know you guys might be wondering, and if you're not, then I still feel the need to justify myself, I guess, because I've been talking so much about sustainability, and I've made a specific video about sustainable fashion. So you might be like, why did you drop so much money on these clothing items? I have been wanting to purchase corsets for a long time, but I have never had the funds to do so because getting a proper corset is not cheap. Now that I have the finances, it's something that I've always wanted, specifically from this company, because they do offer these corsets that you can wear basically as shirts. Because they had that sale, they didn't have to go into production for my purchase. These are overstock because they only had certain styles and patterns and sizes available. So I put all of these things, all of these exact corsets, into my shopping cart, and right before I checked out, I backed out at the last second because I was like, you know what, maybe I can find these things used. I went on to eBay and Depop and other secondhand clothing sites to see if I can find a corset in a style I like and in my size at a reasonable price that I could get secondhand. And unless it's like true vintage, which then got crazy expensive, you just can't buy a corset secondhand. That's just not something that's generally sold. It wasn't just a jerk reaction like, oh, I saw a cute corset on Instagram, now I want it. It's like, no, I've literally wanted to own a real corset since I was like 15 or 16. And I went to the Renaissance Festival, in September, I tried on this really fancy leather corset. There was like this whole leather corset shop, and I talked to the woman there, and she said that they're also really good for back issues. And I don't have anything crazy, but I do have mild scoliosis. And she said that she loves wearing her corsets just when driving long distances because they help keep her back from getting messed up, because she had scoliosis too. That's my justification for buying these corsets. I generally never spend this much on clothes. So A, I plan on wearing them all the time, and B, I don't need to buy any clothes, any more clothes for a long, long time, that's for sure. Look at this dead dog. Yukon. Oh, hey baby. You're so handsome. I thought I could get away with not brushing Yukon over the winter, but his fur was starting to look a little rough, a little scraggly, so I've been brushing him a lot lately, and now he just looks so beautiful. Right, baby? Aren't you so handsome? All right, we'll go on a walk. Okay, I realized I completely forgot to get any clips while I was here, but I finished completely revising my new chapter 1, sent it to my friend. I'm excited to get her feedback. And then I read through one of my good friend's one-act plays that he sent to me, but I knew it's something that I should read and also give him feedback on, so I'm done with that. It's almost 8 o'clock. I've been here for a solid 4 hours. I have been listening to the audio of Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. I'm almost 3 hours into it, and it's good. I'm interested. I trust Brandon Sanderson. I'm in for the ride, and I'm also really, really excited to get home and read Red Rising. I haven't had a chance to read it today, but I'm pumped. It's so good. Hey guys, sorry if you can hear my laptop running in the background. It is working so hard right now. It's about 9:40 in the morning, and I just spent the last hour and a half working on this current vlog, uploading and editing all the footage I have, and I hope you guys enjoy long vlogs, because this one is definitely going to be a long one. I'm trying to experiment with having long vlogs and shorter sit-down videos. My agenda today is to read another 100 pages of Red Rising, which I'm definitely going to do right now because I cannot look at a screen any longer. But I'm excited to read more of this book. It is getting so nuts. I'm on page 111. So I sent my revised first chapter to my friend who gave such an incredible but brutally honest query critique, which is, I need that. I was so excited to hear back from her, and she got back to me within an hour. She's amazing. And granted, I am writing this first chapter without my prologue, dispensing that information that the prologue gives in a new way. She definitely had some very good feedback, because now without that prologue, I can insert more mystery into the story. But she was saying that there was kind of too many mysteries introduced at once. She just told me the things that caught her interest and that maybe I should focus more on. It's like, okay. So now I have to go back through and revise again, which is fine. I have no problem reworking this first chapter because it's so vitally important that it's done right. Because generally when you query an agent, you are querying with the first 5 pages of your chapter, and assuming that they even want to read on past the query, it's like those first 5 pages, that first page, that first paragraph is so important. There are some points in my book, there are some scenes that, although on a technical level I want to make better, I will not compromise on in a storytelling aspect. Like, they're very important to me and to the integrity of the story and to my vision. But the first chapter, the introduction of these world and these characters, that I am willing to rework and rework and rework until it is incredibly informative and engaging, equally so, and really draws people into the world. That's my agenda for the day. I'm gonna clean up the room a little bit and then get to reading. Hello everyone. So, oh my gosh. The reason I didn't film any more updates yesterday is because once I got home, and I got home kind of late, and then I went to grab my book and I left it here. I left Red Rising here, which was so lame because I really wanted to read it. And even this morning I woke up and like before I was completely coherent, I was thinking about Red Rising and what was happening. And I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to keep reading and get to the next part, and then just like tragically had to realize that I didn't have the book with me. Oh my gosh, I'm so bummed. This will be one of the last updates for this week because I want to throw this video up tomorrow, so I need to get all the new footage onto my computer and edit it. Obviously read some Red Rising if I have the time, but tonight I'm going to be going out for dinner and then going to see Knives Out. Okay, if you're a Star Wars person, let me know if you feel similar. When I heard that Knives Out was directed by Rian Johnson, who directed The Last Jedi, I was like, ew, yuck. I don't want to see that. I don't want to give him money. Gross. Like I have such resentment towards him, which I know is crazy. Few things fill me with as much rage as The Last Jedi and season 8 of Game of Thrones. Like, it's like I start to see red when I think about him too much. So I was just like, no. But I know several people in real life and a few movie reviewers on YouTube who I trust and like, who have said that it's really fun, it's really good, and I'll put my prejudice aside and just go see the movie, enjoy it for what it is. Guys, it is 65 degrees out. That's part of like my hair is so frizzy because there's so much moisture and humidity in the air. It's really gray, it's not sunny, but it is warm. In January, in the Midwest, 65 degrees. Like I've mentioned, I am also listening to the audiobook of Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn series, the first one, and then Red Rising. And they're both about people who are oppressed, who are out to take down the government. They're so similar in that sense, but it's really interesting to see how you can take a trope or like a popular idea and just make such radically different stories out of it. I mean, Brandon Sanderson's is extremely detailed, very intense magic system. Obviously it's more fantastical, where Red Rising is sci-fi fantasy, and a lot more blunt, and it's first person and the character is very to the point, not a lot of frills. It's very interesting and completely accidental. So I need to get started with my day because it's already past 12 o'clock, which I meant to get here sooner, but it was so nice out. I took the dogs on a very long walk this morning. Spoiled creatures. Yo, this vlog almost 40 minutes long, and so I hope you guys are into longer vlogs. I personally actually really like watching longer vlogs. That doesn't bother me. I usually play them when I'm getting ready in the morning, almost as background noise. You know, it's not an informational video, so I don't need to be like strictly paying attention to it the entire time, which is how I imagine people are watching or listening to mine. So again, let me know how you feel about these like very long vlogs. But that's what I've been working on for the last hour and a half. So I actually need to go take the library books back, and then I think I'm gonna head out of here and get ready to go out for dinner tonight. Ooh. These are all my kids' books, and you can tell that they're old because they're all Christmas related. This one ended up being the surprise hit of the month. It's 12 Days of Christmas, but with an African vibe to it, so that's super cute. And if you have any youngsters in your life or kids that you want to get into reading, literally of any age, Pete the Cat, I have had 1-year-olds to 10-year-olds be equally as interested in these. It's so funny. So we are back home in the YouTube room, and let me show you what I'm doing because I want to rearrange some things. I have my ring light in front of these windows. I like getting natural light when I can, but I think I need to invest in some like sheer white window hangers because I'm getting too much direct sunlight in my videos. And then I always had this dresser in front of my light. And the dresser, when sitting down, it was just creating too much distance between me and the camera. I'm actually looking into getting rid of it because it's just too bulky and I don't need something that big, especially for what it does and what it's used for, which is essentially nothing. I brought in a smaller table from downstairs. I had the filming camera on here, which I thought was very inconvenient because then it was like, ooh, I'll always have great lighting and it will always just be in the center and I don't have to worry about shadows. However, this light wiggles around a lot and isn't the most stable thing to hold a camera, and it's difficult to adjust like up and down or if I need a different angle, where this one, which I've had since the beginning of my YouTube, is very easy to adjust. So I'm going to switch that over here, bring the light closer to me, and then hopefully what natural light I do get from the windows will be a little bit more dispersed and not as harsh. And then I also just want the camera closer to my bookshelves. The reason I have this sheet in front of the door too, as nuts as it may look sometimes, is because my hair is the same color as the wood basically, and on film it's just gets hard to distinguish. Like I start to fade into the background, so I have a lighter cloth so you can actually see me better. But ultimately, now that I have this giant beautiful bookshelf, I want to show it off more. So to do that, I need to get closer to it. My camera needs to get closer to it. So that's the plan. That's what I'm working on right now.